Hello, guys. You're welcome back to the podcast. My name is Franklin from the Money Code Academy. And today I want to share with you something I believe will change your life. Now, quickly, I want to ask you a question. Are you in charge of your finances? I know this might sound a little bit shocking to you, but come to think of it, are you truly in charge of your finances? Quite a lot of people, they think that they are in charge of their finances, but in the actual sense, they are not the one in charge of their finances. Their finances actually being dictated by other people. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 signs on how to identify if truly you are the one in charge of your finances or others are the ones in charge of your finances. So let's get right into it. The first sign to know if you are not the one in charge of your finances is when you don't have a plan for your financial life. For example, a new year has just started, and there are people who are just running with the new year. They don't have any proper plan for their finances. There is nothing like a plan for savings. There is nothing like a budget for the first quarter or for this month or for the next 6 months. There is no plans for investment. They are just living their lives. Anything that comes, they are willing to just go with it. But you see, if you are living your life like that, it is very obvious that you are not in charge of your finances. Hear me, if you truly want to be in charge of your finances, you must have a plan. You must have a plan for your income. You must have a plan for your expenses. You must have a plan for savings. You must have a budget. So you don't just spend the way you want to spend with the hope that if anything happens, I will just take it like that. It shouldn't be that way. You don't just leave your finances to chance. You need to plan. You need to have a solid plan on ground. So that's number one. If you don't have a plan, then you need to start working on that because it will go a long way to help you. Number 2 signs to identify if you are not in charge of your finances is when you are solely dependent on your employer. I really want you to pay attention to this. Quite a lot of people are solely dependent on their employer for their finances. Now, let me explain. See, there is nothing wrong with you having a job. There's nothing wrong with you having an employer. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the challenge a lot of time is that when they lose the job, obviously we don't pray for anything bad, but if something happens to that particular job, it means that financially they become helpless. It means that they are just not going to be able to do anything about their finances. The reason is because their finances was tied to their employer. When the employer says, I don't need your services any longer, that's it. They are going to go broke for the next 2-3 months until they get another job. So when you are living your life like that, it means that you are not in charge of your finances. Your employer is the one in charge of your finances. Now, how do you fix this? It is important for you to understand that while you are working, now this is so important, while you are working, while you are getting that paycheck, it is very, very good for you to look out for other channels of income. Yeah, you need to look out for other channels of income. At least add, even if it's one extra channel of income, that will go a very long way to help you. So if peradventure something happens tomorrow to that particular job, you still have something to fall back to. You get that now? This is very, very important. I want you to take this seriously. When you live your life like this, you are in charge. Now, there are lots of things that you can do for you to create a side income. If you can put this in place, I'm telling you, you are the one in charge. There is nothing that will happen to you tomorrow that will affect your finances. You get the point now. A few months ago, I saw the story online about 2 guys. They were working together in a particular company, and while they were working, one of them kept on investing his paycheck. He rented this shop and started selling some things there. But the other guy, they were earning good. But this other guy, he kept on investing his money on EMIs. Like he was taking out car loans, house loan, and all that, buying all the beautiful things. And something happened. End of the day, the company called the both of them and told them that they are folding up, that they have to move on with their lives. Now, this particular guy who was taking loans and all that, he became distraught. His life, everything crumbled. He had to return the car. He had to return the house. At the end of everything, he was left with nothing. Like nothing. He went back to square one. But this other guy who was busy investing his paycheck into other businesses, when that job folded, do you know what he did? He just switched to his own business and became the boss there. Now, this is an example of two people who, they were working together in the same firm, but when something happened, one of them was able to take charge, but the other one was completely helpless. In the long run, see, this other guy who had his own business now, he was the one who finally employed this other guy because his situation was so bad to the point that he just couldn't help it. And at the end of the day, he had to go work for this guy. And this is the advantage of you having your own business, something that can generate income for you on the side. When you are living your life like this, I'm telling you, there is nobody that can take advantage of you. There's no employer that can, change your story overnight, because somehow you have created something for yourself. So this is very important. Do not depend solely on your employer. Like I said earlier, there is nothing wrong with it, but you have to be wise while you are doing that. Otherwise, they will be the one to dictate your finances. In most cases, it may not even be their fault. There is no employer today that will want to just call you and tell you that, come on, your job is over. No, many of them, at least 80% of them, don't do that. Most of the time, their business could be slow. They may not be making enough sales. They may not be, making enough money to sustain the running cost of the company. So at that point, they have no choice but to lay off some staffs. Now, when you are laid off, what happens? So you have to understand this so that you can, create something for yourself while you are working. So at the end of the day, nothing happens to your finances. Now, the last point for today is that if you are working every day and you are not learning anything about finances, now this is very important. I don't know how to stress this. See, for every day that passes by, you should increase your financial knowledge. The truth is, if you want to truly have financial success, you want to enjoy financial freedom, it's not going to be possible without financial knowledge. Financial knowledge gives birth to financial wisdom. And financial wisdom is what makes you to be a master of your finances. So if you are not learning anything about finances, then the chances are there that you are not in charge of your finances. I want to encourage every one of you to take advantage of these few thoughts that I've shared with you today and make a conscious decision that you're going to start learning something about finances. Go online. There are a lot of resources online right now to help you, educate you financially. For example, you can check my other videos in this particular channel. There are lots of things that I've spoken about concerning your finances. These things, they will go a long way to help you. They will go a long way, to change the way you think about money, to change your approach towards money. And at the end of it all, you find yourself, you'll be in charge. I've done some free courses. I will just link them below. One of them is the power of financial education. One of them is understanding financial freedom. Now, these courses, they were designed to educate you, so you know the path you can follow in the area of your finances, so you understand the role that financial education plays in your life. I'm going to put a link below. Just go through it and see what happens, and you'll be amazed what you will learn from those information that I have put there in those courses. So take advantage of it and begin today to take charge of your finances. Now, if you've gotten value from what I've shared with you thus far, I would encourage you to, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, click the like button. Just click on that little bell. Click on that little bell so that each time I post the content, you'll be able to get it. Now, I hope to speak to you again. Until then, keep cracking the money code.